Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mellowcast, the official podcast for the team, the Mellow Fellows. I'm your host, Gonzo, and here with me, the man, the myth, the legend, the lovely penguin, Alex is playing. Alex?
Hey, what's good, Mr. Gonzo?
How you
I'm
doing?
Alex.
Oh, you're Alex? Oh, man.
I'm Alex, dude.
I keep hearing you're the boss penguin, you're the sellout man, you're the man with the money, Twitch money. But Alex, I've never heard of that before.
No, I know, right? I'm usually the boss. Usually I'm the one that's going to hand out the pink slip. If you act up, you're gone. And you're doing the podcast right now, so your job's safe for at least 2 more days.
At least 2 more days? All right, until after the recording and the rendering of the video. All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, so when does my contract actually get paid out? All right, moving on.
Alex.
Yeah, moving on. All right, so doing this completely unpaid. Love it. You know, I love a little charity, especially for our team.
Yeah.
I mean,
least you could do.
I mean, it's been 5 years, right? I think somewhere along the lines.
5 years. I mean, as we record this, like we're 2 weeks away from that 5th year anniversary.
Jesus, time has flown by so quickly. I just can't comprehend how fast it's been or how long it's been.
It's actually nutty because like making the team was one of the first things I did when I went full time with content creation. It was like one of the big things I want to do. I was like, I have full time now. I want to put together a team, and here we are 5 years later.
So, what made you want to create the team in general? Just
so my big thing, like when I watch casts online and stuff, is I'm usually very tired or I'm trying to do work and like people are on in the background, and I can't really like, it's not that I hate it, but like I just very high energy, lots of yelling, maybe slightly ragey stuff in the background, usually not going to do it for me. I gravitate towards like more calm, relaxed atmospheres, maybe a little bit of like hype here and there. So I really just like wanted to kind of get a bunch of people that are kind of alike in that regard together, because I just feel like it's a very friendly, fun atmosphere to kind of have. And I went, let's just do it. I'll be the one in charge of that.
So you just wanted a nice, you did this mainly for yourself, just so you can have streams to yourself to relax and do stuff on the side with.
Well, I knew that there was a corner of the whole like streaming market that just really wasn't being like promoted like all too well, you know, and like I wanted to like try and help bring a bigger spotlight to those that maybe provide a lower energy sort of vibe, not like a bad energy, but like, you know, like a slightly like more relaxed, just kind of calm energy to everything.
That's
I wanted to like help spotlight that. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. So, you know, when you started the team, right? Who was your go-to number one? Like, I have to have on the team right away.
There are a few people. The original lineup, like almost the entire original lineup, still here, right?
Yeah.
So it was, we got you,
right?
Technoslade.
Oh yes.
Ryan AVX.
Yes.
We had Green Ass Baboon, who's no longer with us, unfortunately, on the team. I'm pretty sure he's still alive.
I hope so.
JB, did I say JB already?
No.
JB Retro. And then my artist, Lady Vanta Black.
Yes.
Or Lady Vanta Black. And I think we also brought in Polycypher day one, because Polycypher was always my boy.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, and Leon. We got you convinced me to bring in Leon too.
I am so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's been rough. Rough 5 years. It's my punishment, honestly, for making the team.
Would you really say it's a punishment? More like, you know, a gift?
So for those that aren't in the team listening to this, so I would assume the vast majority, over time, Leon is the reliable one that you're always going to catch in our Discord saying hello for 5 years. Like, he is the constant in the team, right? But he is the constant troll that exists solely to piss me off. He'll be nice to everyone else, but me, I wake up, I have like a gif of like a penguin's head being cut off or something, and it's like, come on, man.
That's the usual morning. Yeah, that sounds about right. Either that or pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, no, he did that to me this morning when I woke up.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah, so he's been making like a background for the podcast. Hopefully it's ready by the time like this one gets uploaded. But he showed me like a table with like your face on it, and like he was interviewing his his guest, and for the template he had a piece of pineapple pizza as your guest.
Oh yeah, he sent me that one too, and I was like, I dig it, I'll do it. just for the memes, you know.
You're the worst.
Listen, I love to support our community members, our fellow team members in whatever they want to do. Okay.
I
Granted,
mean, he did apply for the job.
I don't like pineapple on pizza, but again, if it sells, it sells, right?
No, there are exceptions to if it sells, it sells.
Or more like $20 is $20.
I feel like there are better things you can do with your $20.
I'm definitely not buying a pineapple on pizza. That's for sure not happening.
Yeah, you're not gonna get me like entrapped and like trying to admit this is a good idea.
No. I didn't say it was a good idea. I'm just saying I fully support, our members and whatever they love and have a passion about.
And I support 99.9% of what they love and have a passion about. So like we're pretty similar. It's just that 0.1%.
That 0.1%. I agree. I agree. So over the years, right, we've had, I guess, not a change in the team, but more or less like we've added more to it. Right? We started off primarily DBD, some retro, some speed running here, and then we just branched out, right?
Yeah, I had different philosophies depending like what era of the team we're in. Early on, I just wanted to get a nice relaxed atmosphere, and then I really started focusing like, okay, we have like the Nintendo branch, the Dead by Daylight branch, the RPG guys, the retro guys. I tried like filling out like each kind of category evenly to try and like have like this big expansive list of people like all over these different like categories in Twitch. Mm-hmm. And over time that's kind of evolved.
Definitely.
So that's how we started it.
So how many members did we have in the beginning compared to now?
What was that?
How many members did we have from the beginning when we first started the team, as opposed to right now? Like how many members?
So if we're just talking like strictly like the first like maybe 3 months the team was active, I think we peaked at like 25 members for the opening rush, give or take. And currently we have 87. Our team list right now is 89, but 2 people have double accounts, so 87.
Gotcha. Yeah, we've grown quite fast too. Yeah. I want to say.
Yeah, well, we had a very big growth like a few years in, and like a lot of people kind of left, and then more people joined. It's a nonstop flow, really.
So what would you say would be like out of the 5 years? What was your best year? In
best
your opinion?
Year, I would say for me, it's really hard to pinpoint. I'd say like year 2 or year 3. We're very, very strong, but right now I think the team's probably at its strongest because we have a lot more direction than we've ever had, and that started like a month and a half ago. So I'd say right now I think it's probably going to start taking over as like our best like years or our best year. But prior to that, probably like year 2 or year 3, I would say we were doing really well.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like second year, I was actually streaming almost daily at that point, and it was actually really fun because new faces, lots of new faces, a lot of new energy, good energy coming in, and then yeah, it's grown ever since. And I can honestly say that now, this last, this fifth coming into the 5th year, the energy's better. It's a lot more people involved. You're seeing a lot more different types of streams and different types of personalities.
Yeah, it's a nonstop flow. Like for me, for instance, like from running it, it's like finding just like how many people you should let in. Like, because before, like I was accepting so many people in. I was like every month, like new member, and it's just eventually you kind of figure out like what the team actually needs, and just kind of like you're able to piece together a much healthier roster over the years. Not to say like our roster was ever unhealthy, but I think I have a better understanding of who our team, like who could really benefit from our team, and like who will actually benefit us as being part of the team as well.
I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. So do you know what the direction you want to take the team in, like from this point forward?
From this point forward, I think I'm way less concerned about filling in like all these little gaps, like these Nintendo gaps, these retro gaps, these Souls-like gaps. Right now, I'm more concerned about getting people that actually want to talk with each other, interact with each other, collaborate with each other, and just kind of like bring people together. because I think one of the issues that our team had like internally for a while was that I felt like there was a bunch of separate cliques amongst members, and I feel like that whole feeling for the most part's been kind of going away, and now like everyone's kind of been brought together in a much bigger way than normal lately. So I'm really just trying to find people that are going to, you know, like want to function as a team regardless of what they do, and I think we're kind of like in that spot now finally. It took a couple of years to kind of get that down, but I think we're there.
Yeah, I mean, I would honestly say this team is much more family oriented, much more now than it has been in the past, even though it's always been a family, right?
Yeah.
But we definitely have a lot more people and a lot more conversations in the Discord, and you know, it's a lot of free flow now as opposed to you know, a couple of years.
People are collaborating way more on our team now than they ever have before.
Definitely,
it's a ton, like every week now.
So how did you bridge that gap from, you know, those who primarily solo streamed to having a lot more collaborations and group content?
So it's not necessarily collaborations, group content, but it's just more like members that want to interact with each other. Because, like, for instance, I'm a solo streamer. Like, sometimes people will hop on, like, join games with me and whatnot. I think it's really just kind of about over time. It's just kind of like you can look at someone, you can watch someone, and you can kind of know if they're going to like really want to function as someone that wants to like actually be on the team rather than be a piece of the team. Like, actually, how do I word this? It's such a hard thing to word.
More about comfortability, basically. Being more comfortable around each other and being a little more confident of hanging out with each other.
Yeah, I think is a better way to put it, because it's not necessarily like I'm expecting everyone to collaborate. Like, even I, like I said, like even I don't do that, but I think it's like, you know, we have like people on our team that barely stream like these days, but they're always in chats, they're always in Discords, or maybe they're off like doing their own things. I think before too, I was like very dead set on everyone has to be a Twitch. You've had this like talk with me before, like everyone has to be a Twitch streamer, it's a Twitch team, blah blah blah. Right. Like, now I'm very loosey goosey about that because I realize the landscape's changing.
Yeah. And
I think everything's healthier now because everyone's like interacting and talking to each other, promoting each other, even if they're not necessarily collaborating with each other. It's just, it feels like people are actually like, they like being here, you know.
And that's good. That shows that the team is very, again, family oriented, very just, you know, we're here to help. We're here to, you know, help everyone to the top, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see, you know, because you have like, especially Twitch and streaming in general, to the follow for follow or sub to sub days, on the early days or dark ages of Twitch, and Twitter. Like, hey, if you follow me, I follow you, and you know, as opposed, I hated those days, first of all. But now we actually have a genuine, you know, feel of, all right, I'm actually going to promote this person because I enjoy their content, or they are part of my team and I enjoy their content.
Exactly. And like, no one's ever been forced to promote each other or do any of this. It's just people have ended up willingly doing it. And like, this team's like always had like a wide variety of members, like of so many different sizes. Like, you know, I've taken people on that had like 2 months experience, people that are already partnered. Like, it's just like such a big gap of like experience on the team, and like people promote each other, but like it's not like I regulate everyone's gonna promote each other. Like, it's people are on the team, they recognize each other, and like they're like, these people are awesome, like I want to help them out.
So I know over the years we've had some of our members actually make partner, correct?
Yes.
Do you know that number that we've had so far?
I've never internally counted it. I know while on our team, how much we had to do with it, I don't know, but while on our team, members that have gone from like affiliate to partner, Veronimo was one. There was Wesley Dreed. Oh god, there's at least 2 more names actually that I'm trying to think of. I've got this, don't worry. I'm actually scanning our members because like I know there's another one.
Oh, of course. I think there were like 2 or 3 more, I believe.
Yeah.
And even those that were originally part of our team that left also became partner
Yeah, we've had a lot of members that have kind of like decided to kind of move on and they became partners like,
Mhm.
but they became partners like while they were on the team.
Yeah,
Oh, Lily,
Lily.
Lily Charles, yeah, that's another one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and again, I don't know how much part the team factored into that, but again, it goes to show that we do support our own heavily,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
we you have a goal, we'll try to help you achieve it.
Yeah, and I don't think like anyone like in our teams like ever like blatantly tried to like get us to come there to like help them with their partner push and stuff. It's just like a lot of us just kind of naturally show up. So
Hmm. So, in any I guess plans of adding more people to the team, or are you happy with the team numbers? What's the future looking like in terms of members?
so I always try and keep the team like around the 90 member mark. I feel like that's the healthiest range for us. I don't object to going a little bit higher. Typically we do applications in the winter, like in December or so, then I add people on for the new year. Um, I may do that again this year, but like in a much smaller scale because I feel like our team's already loaded with so many people. But I still like bringing on fresh blood every now and then because I feel like it invigorates a new energy to the team. So I'll probably like bring like 3 or 4 more people in this year. See what's happening. Look at our roster and just
So,
kind of decide where to go from there.
also, any plans on actually expanding the team out to other platforms such as like YouTube or Kick, even, or anywhere
A lot of
else?
our members already stream on other platforms, but there's no like built-in team support to like any of these platforms. Um, and I feel like since we're such a central focused Twitch team, I think that's going to remain as the central focus for now.
Hmm.
But that being said, a lot of us do stream on Kick and like YouTube, and like we have a few people that are doing really well on TikTok, like Jimbo and the Meebs. So I think we're gonna naturally expand over there, and if like these other sites like open up teams and like get like better visibility like among members on teams and stuff like that, like yeah, I'll 100% be like, yeah, let's open up the kick portion and like the YouTube portion and see where we go from there.
I noticed that lately you've been not hiring, but kind of having people volunteer to help out in certain aspects of the team. Would you want to elaborate more on that?
Sure. So recently we've been or like I've been assigning roles to members of the team if they apply for it, for like graphic designers, video editors. Some of its sole purpose is to remind me of like team birthdays and special streams coming up. Just basically a bunch of stuff that we need to do. I tried tackling everything on this team for like the first 5 years, and it's really hard keeping up with all of it. So I'm finally like, I need help because this last year I've barely done anything.
Hmm.
So I'm like, no, now we got people making graphics. We have a ton of stuff ready because we have like the bird making us videos. We have clip shows going up again. And there's like some other fun ideas happening. And then internally we have team events going on, which I mean, like I think we have Blue and Techno working on that for us. So I think there'll be some fun stuff, fun collaborations incoming pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of nice to see more members actually wanting to help
Yes.
because again, putting everything on your back is very taxing, especially you having to maintain your stream 24/7, not just your stream, right? You outside content and social life and just also personal things that you want to do, right? It's very taxing to balance all that and a team. And I remember when you had asked me to be your right hand man, it's I've done it, but it's also again taxing on just two people. So it's also nice to see the team wanting to help you
Yes. Well, the
primarily.
team's always said, like, if you need help with anything, let me know. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take everyone up on that offer. Here's everything I need done.
Hmm.
And I think will help us a lot. And, like, if you want to do it, like, come apply to me. And filled up, like, every single role in the span of 2 days.
It goes to show you how much the team itself, like the members of the team, want this team to succeed. To succeed. If I can actually
Yeah.
pronounce that correctly. Words.
Succeed. Succeed, like, that would be us splitting apart. And I don't really plan on doing that quite yet, bud.
Oh no, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got another 10-15 years on this team left.
As long as I have like other people like help me, get the day to day going, then yeah, by all means, 10 to 15 at least.
Yeah, I feel like we can definitely branch out. Eventually, like once we get a streamline of things, we can actually bring in like sponsors and sponsor streams and actually do big events and host big events in the future. And I do have plans for this team myself that I want to incorporate. We just got to get things in line first.
And see like where things go, because like obviously like I can't handle literally every little thing, so it's nice to have people kind of like start getting us in a position like where maybe I can start tackling and getting new stuff happening. Like we have relationship with certain companies and certain things as a team,
Right.
but I would love to bring it like a little bit further. But just doing this the last 5 years, like it's pretty obvious like why a lot of teams kind of like get formed and fizzle out like after a year or two. It is a lot of work to maintain.
It's a lot of dedication, a lot of things to keep up with, and if you're not on top of it, it's just gonna crumble. And then people lose interest very quickly, from what I've noticed.
Lose interest really quickly. Like any little incident can have like just members be like, I lost faith in this whole project, and
Hmm.
a lot of stuff can happen. I've seen so many teams kind of crumble to like for like different reasons,
Yeah.
and it's like I just do everything I can to like help prevent that happening to us. And I think I've done a pretty good job. I've had missteps,
Right.
but I think
Can't be perfect 24/7.
can't. I literally like I've done stuff like where I'll admit like probably wasn't the best call in hindsight, but like I've always done like what I thought was the right call,
Hmm.
and thankfully like stuff's held together, and I think we're pretty strong.
Definitely. This is definitely a very strong-minded team. Love being
Yeah.
here. It's 5 years. Granted, I haven't been doing a lot of streaming myself. I've been dealing with a lot of IRL stuff. That's taken a lot of my time. So, but I'm slowly coming back into it. It's not like I left it completely. It's just, again, once I take care of myself first, and when my headspace is good, I can bring more content and things to the team.
Yeah, and I mean like we're used to you taking like 3 retirements a year anyway, so it's not like a big deal.
The usual, it's gone down. It's gone down. It's more like two
Um,
retirements a year.
Yeah, you're getting there.
Before it was like, well, I'm retiring. 2 months later, come back. I'm retiring again. I'm done with streaming, and
And
yeah,
you'd always message me like you were done. I'm like, bud, I know how this stuff works. It doesn't matter what you do in entertainment, whether you're an actor, you're like an athlete, a stage performer, or even a streamer. You don't like ever really stop per se. Like you always end up coming back. There's always that one thing that pulls you back in for one more job.
yeah. Well, again, I mean, I've had my moments where I'm completely done because y- it, I don't know how to put it. It's more like you see someone else's growth and you kind of really compare yourself. And that was early on in when we started originally. I was always comparing myself to others and how I was doing compared to them. But you should never do that.
No. Because here's the thing, streaming in general content creation, it's like a 95% luck sort of thing. You have to hope you get like that luck happen, and then that 5% is you actually having a good personality that people want to hang out with. So you gotta wait for that 95% so you can bring forth that 5% to really secure things down. That's what
So
I've learned.
so what would you suggest to someone who's either just starting or who's been going at it for X amount of time, and it's almost at that point of just I'm done. I kind of want to give up.
So I've fallen down so many times. Like right now, like I'm on a big downturn, like with my personal streaming and whatnot. And the one thing I've always kind of learned is either I can stick with what I'm doing and like what I know isn't working and hope it eventually works again, or I can just get back to the drawing board, breathe, relax, ignore the numbers, and be like, okay, where does my passions lie? What do I want to present? If this fails, like if this passion that I want to present now fails, will it still be a fun, comforting experience for me to actually do this? If the answer is yes, I'm going to do it. And if it fails again, it's back to the drawing board. But a lot of like creation really is going to the drawing board, trying things, and then if it doesn't work, you don't go, I hate this, I'm giving up. Because that's gonna be the mentality that's gonna make sure that you never do make it. You just gotta kind of like think over um just what's going to bring you a personal satisfaction and bring you a personal growth as a creator. And hopefully during that whole experience, other people discover and go, you know what, I love this too. And that's kind of like where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's completely fair. Yeah. Again, I've had my moments where I'm just like, no, I don't want to, and then I end up coming back. It's always something that just again pulls you back in.
Yeah, I constantly have ideas of things I want to do or like new content that I want to do. And even if it fails, I went, you know what? I enjoyed the fact that I did that. Like right now, I'm taking a big risk, you know? Like I was like, I'm going to start streaming on Kick. And I did that in June. I'm like, I'm going to sacrifice some Twitch time. I'm going to go on Kick, see how that happens, see what happens with that. And let me tell you, one of the best gambles I ever took.
I mean, what, your viewership is almost doubled on Kick.
I
believe, yeah.
My viewership is getting close to matching Twitch on Kick, and I now make more money on Kick than I do on Twitch.
With what less amount of subs than you have on Twitch, correct?
Yes, I have currently about 120 subs on Kick.
Jeez, that's insane. That's actually really good, though.
Yeah. Well, I had an idea, I had a vision, and I stuck to the vision. I went, this is going to be a very rewarding thing, and like more and more people keep coming by, and it's been great. And now I have a new vision for YouTube, and I'm like, once I start doing this, we'll see what happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So how does one get into streaming on multiple platforms like you do?
So my philosophy is if I'm going to do a different platform, I'm going to want to focus on and present a completely different thing that I'm doing on others, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so Kick is entirely retro, but what is the point of me just doing retro games on Kick if I'm also doing them on YouTube and I'm also doing them like on Twitch live? There is no point. So I like treating like each platform as a different avenue for my creativity and for me to present a unique flair. It's like Twitch has become like my avenue for multiplayer games and like AAAs and indies. It's like kind of like the modern smorgasbord with multiplayer. Kick is my retro. It's my look into the past. And I've noticed like on Kick, a lot of the viewers tend to like be a bit of the older demographic, which means they will also have a stronger relationship to those retro games as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then YouTube has been, I grew my YouTube channel on Tower Unite, and I've also grown it on shitty horror games. So that is my YouTube focus, shit horror and Tower Unite, and people flock to it.
That's good, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I like, that's just how I like presenting things. It's like, why would I do a different platform if I'm not going to bring anything unique or different to it that make people go, you know what, this is where I'm going to find him doing this, and I love when he does that, so I'm going to go there.
You know, honestly, there's a market for everything. So you'd be surprised as to like what people actually want to watch, what people like. It's insane.
Nothing surprised me. You see some of the channels I follow, like on YouTube. I found a guy that just reviews car washes and bathroom fans. Like, okay.
Yeah, that that sounds about right. Yeah.
It's something for everyone.
I agree. Well, once I realized that, right? Once I realized that there was something for everyone, I kind of just like said, all right. You know, I used to be the one to tell people, hey, nobody's going to watch that. Nobody's going to want to watch that. And next thing you know, they're blown out the water. I'm like, why is this even a thing?
Because like, if you're passionate about what you're presenting, like it work out.
Sure. I guess. Again, the internet is so broad and so wide that again, there's a market for everything, and I'm still trying to grasp my mind around that. For the last like 7 years that I've been streaming, 7+ years that I've been streaming, I'm still trying to grasp that idea.
Yeah, there's really no hard and fast rule to any of this. Like, people like to pretend they'll be like, I'm a stream coach, here's how I'm going to help you grow. No, there's no hard and fast rule to any of this. There are
Right.
things you can do that might help you get in a good spot, like have a consistent schedule, focus streaming on certain times, to like try and attract people back. Like, you know, like the very basic rules of streaming.
Mhm.
But like in terms of presenting content, there is no hard and fast rule. One of the biggest streamers in the world uses a $15 Logitech mic that sounds like garbage, but people love him, so everyone flocks to him.
You
So
talk
they
about
don't need
like,
anything.
yeah, you talk about
Mm.
Dr. Disrespect, I think.
No, Tyler won.
Tyler won. There you go.
Dr. Disrespect has like one of the craziest freaking most high-end sophisticated setups that is not $15, young man.
Well, he does use a webcam mainly, primarily. He doesn't use a DSLR for his stuff, from what I've seen.
I mean, he has some pretty high quality graphics.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what money would do, right? You know, you gotta build the scene for it.
Mhm.
So let me ask you something here. All right, so
Yeah.
we're talking about content. We're talking about like other streamers and stuff like that. So if you, I mean, you know me, you know what I do on my streams and whatnot. But let's say you didn't know me, right? You wipe clean, okay?
Yep.
And you just listen to my voice. What would I be playing? What is something that with my voice is something that you just be like, all right, I can watch him play that all day, or play something like that all day.
So I think I've brought this up to you before in conversation. I view you as like the simulator kind of guy, like or like the tycoon kind of guy, the Planet Coaster, the Sim City, the House Flipper, anything creative and like management wise. I feel like you have the voice and the cadence to really make that a super enjoyable experience. And like while I know you don't do that, I mean the stuff you do like I still love, but I feel like you have that silky smooth voice for that would be so prime for those like simulation and tycoon games.
So what kind, what do you have a game in particular, or games other than like, you know, tycoon, something like maybe Stellaris, or you know, those grand strategy games, Civilization, for example?
Um, Honestly, I played one. And I'm like, I think you would have the perfect voice for this, and that was Gas Station Simulator.
Oh, I love that game.
I feel like you'd have the perfect voice for it. That and House Flipper. I feel like I would watch you for 6 hours if you were to play Lawnmower Simulator.
Just
No
talking.
problem. Just talking and mowing the grass.
Ah, just cozy and just fall asleep, wake up, still mowing the same lawn.
Mhm.
I might,
I feel like
I might have to give that a shot then.
I feel like that's like your voice, but as long as you have a lot of topics to talk about and whatnot, I feel like if you just have like a nice, not necessarily, I mean, Lawnmower Simulator is dull. I'm not gonna cover it up. If you have like a nice dull game like Lawnmower Simulator, or just kind of like a more like easy to look at kind of game in the background, and like you let your stories and you let your voice kind of carry it and build the story what's happening on screen. Like if we have that combination going, I think you're cooking.
I will have to take a look into that then. That's something, again, you don't see that as a streamer yourself, like, 'cause you assume that, you know, your audience likes you playing what you currently play right now. But
Yeah, no.
again, someone outside looking in, they could be like, wow, you can be good here or over here. And it's always nice to have that feedback.
Yeah. I mean, I can also tell you too, if you keep playing the same thing and keep doing the same thing you're gonna do, you're gonna burn out your audience. Like I'm currently going through that.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I took a year off of Dead by Daylight, and even though my viewership resoundingly voted that they wanted to see me do more Dead by Daylight recently, whenever I go to that game, they're so burned out that I have my lowest viewership and chat activity playing Dead by Daylight.
Jeez. Yeah.
You run the risk of overexposing certain things. Like I love you doing speedruns. I love watching you do stuff like Legend of Dragoon and stuff in the day. But if you were to do that 7 days a week, every single day, that 12-hour run, it's gonna be a rough road because eventually people are gonna burn out.
Right.
So you gotta not only focus on your own burnout, but your viewers' personal burnout.
Yeah, I believe that if, you know, you, the streamer, are burnt out, it's gonna burn your audience out more, because they feel it, they see it, they're like, oh, okay, you're not enjoying it as much, so I'm not gonna be around. I started watching you because X, Y, and Z. Now you're not, you know, giving me X, Y, and Z, so I move on.
Yeah, exactly how it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to see another a streamer of yours do something else, something that they actually enjoy.
Yeah, and for me too, it's with how I handle things. Like it's why a lot of streams I do two games. Like I have my stable game, and then I have like my little experimental game for the day or the week.
Hmm.
And that way I can try and grow that little experiment and get feedback in that experiment. Because the viewership I have also knows I'm going to provide that main thing they came to me for.
Right.
So I feel like I can build the back of new directions on the channel off my prior content, or like my already existing content. I can use that to funnel people in and then gather feedback on new directions.
See me, I can literally watch you play anything, but that's because I'm biased towards you because you're like one of my favorite streamers to watch, right? When you're on, that is. And
Yeah, because I'm never on.
exactly, because you're never on, especially when I'm awake, right? Because you're the late night streamer, and I used to be up around those hours of the day, not anymore, or not as much, I should say. So sometimes I'll catch you like in the morning, like you'll see me at like 5-6 in the morning just hanging out. But when I do catch you, you can be playing literally anything, and I'm just like, I need to play that. You have that effect on me. Whatever you're playing, I need to play because it's just so enjoyable and very engaging to watch.
I'm like a little smorgasbord. Like I think why that works for me is because I genuinely enjoy like every single genre, and I will pull any game out of my ass and go, "We're doing this today." Like earlier today, I did this game called Escape from Mistwood Mansion, and it was a freaking escape room hardcore puzzle game. And then I went to kick and I played Luigi's Mansion, so different. And then later tonight, I'm playing Cyberpunk. So it's like I'm all over the place, you know. And like you're just gonna get hit in the face with something, you just don't know what.
Right, right. And again, to have that ability is very hard for a lot of streamers, I feel, because a lot of streamers think, oh, I got to stay with one game or 2-3 games, and then that's it. That's all I can do before I can build an audience. And then going your route, which is the extreme retro variety, route. It's a big risk, right? But your audience knows that, and your audience is built for that now. And that's hard to do, and I applaud you for that.
Yeah, the thing is, right? The variety crowd, I think if you stick to like one or two games, like you're probably going to build a higher viewership. Like if I just stuck to DBD my entire streaming career from when I started, my channel would probably be in a much better spot. When I was just doing DBD, I was like the 150 average concurrent like range, like, and I was doing pretty good for a while.
Right, I remember those days.
But I feel like since going pretty much strictly variety and mixing in like, like my little multiplayer stuff here and there, like I feel like I can attract a much more dedicated hardcore crowd. So like while that crowd right now is a fraction of the size, they're more dedicated and willing to follow me anywhere. And as I pick people up, they become hardcore and dedicated. Like if you go to my chat, it is almost entirely 4-year badges, 3-year badges, 2-year. It's people that have been there forever, and anyone new that kind of shows up and talks for like a day or two usually joins that group right down the line. So I feel like it's just a good long-term sort of deal. I'm basically forfeiting all my short-term gains on the hope that I am able to entertain people for years at a time and have them stick around and be a consistent part of my content.
Looks like you're doing the really, really long game. It's a big risk, especially with variety. I agree.
But when I went full time, I'm like, I'm doing this for the long game. This isn't for like a quick 2-year vacation from like working like in an office. Like, no, this is what I want to do. So I need to set myself up in a way where this is going to support me in the long term. And while it's had a lot of challenges, especially in these last year or two, I kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel now, and I'm like, if I can just keep this going for a little while longer and keep my bills paid, I think I'm gonna be okay.
And that's kind of what all that matter, it comes down to really, how you treat your audience and if you still give them that dopamine, essentially, at the end of the day. That's good. Again, I applaud you for what you do because, again, you streamed for so long, so many days in a row. You've sacrificed a majority of your life to be able to stream every day consistently for, was it over 2,200 days at one point?
2,391 days from December 28th, 2016 to July 15th, 2023, every single day, usually 6+ hour long streams.
just thinking about that, I can only imagine. And then this is not just like during the day, like you fall asleep at night and wake up in the morning and do it again. No, this is like late night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. starts all the way till 8, 9 in the morning, just
Yep.
consistently going at it. Not just DVD, but more so like a huge variety.
Yeah, and just I was also balancing another job on top of that at one point for like the first like 2 years of it, and then I also ran the team during it. Like my average week, like as a creator, was usually about 110 to 120 hours a week. So like I just had no energy, but it's like I want to do this, so I'm gonna get my 4 hours of sleep, and I'm gonna shut up, and I'm going to do what I want to do.
So what made you decide to end the streak? I remember we talked about this years ago when we made your was it 1200th a day or
1250 or something. It's 1250.
yeah, we made a big old congratulation video because we thought you were gonna finish. And I rewatched it the other day, and I was like, I remember JB said something about, hey,
day 2000
on day 2000, and I'm like, oh, this would have been great to just make a video for that again, and then have that same clip, and then make a new one with him, obviously, again, kind of reiterating that.
Yeah.
So
I thought about that.
So what made you want to just end it?
So originally my plans were to like start phasing down and kind of like get end it. Actually, this month was the original plan because my birthday would have been day 2500. So I felt like that was gonna be a very fitting thing. Go out with a massive like just sellout stream,
Right.
But personally, like, I'm in a relationship, and it's really hard to maintain a relationship, a healthy relationship, if you are working every single day in the middle of the night. So I was like, you know what? The opportunity is here for me to go visit my partner. I've done all I want to accomplish. I am also kind of branching out into a new era of my streaming. I'm already doing the new platforms. I'm kind of ready for this transition over. So I'm going to take this vacation now. I'm going to end it here before I get too stuck in my head with these freaking milestones. Because if I did 2500, 2 months later, it's 7 years in a row. The month after that, it's my 5-year partnerversary. And then at that point, I'm getting very close to like freaking 3000 days anyway. So I might as well finish that up.
And it's a never ending cycle.
Yeah. So I'm going to end that cycle. I'm going to take the 2 weeks, spend it with my partner, freaking start figuring out what I want to do, leave the streak behind, go into a new era. And that's where I'm at now.
And how do you feel after all of that?
I don't know what to do with myself on days off. I personally do not enjoy having a day off. I like staying busy. So it's been a thing I've been struggling to get used to. I've been trying to like read books and watch movies, things like that to pass the time. But I know I've needed it because my body's been so exhausted, and I've had health issues pop up so many times over the course of the streak I held. Some that are still going right now. So it's nice to like actually have that day anyways.
Yeah.
But it's been interesting learning how to schedule myself and hit these certain hour goals and not going like, I'm just going to stream every day. Now I'm like, I'm filling up 45 hours this week. These are the platforms I'm streaming on. How am I going to assign these blocks and schedule this out? And how am I going to plan my content?
Yeah.
And it's a much different thing than my usual chaotic start stream an hour late. What am I playing? Who even knows? I'm just going to do this today sort of vibe.
Right. That's fair. It's see when you've been used to something for so long, and you stop doing it almost instantly, it's hard to transition back or detransition from that.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, right? It's so for me, like coming back to stream, because I took 2 weeks off. When I came back, right, what really hurt it for me was I was ready to come back. Like I had no qualms. I was so happy. I actually started streaming again within hours of landing back home. Just I couldn't like stay away. But then I got sick with a flu. It might have been COVID. I think it was just a flu, and that took me out for another week. And I couldn't do it, and I was sitting in my room. I had no voice. I felt so sick, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. And I think like that week where I couldn't really do it really reaffirmed like how passionate I am about it. Because I would literally try starting stream, and my voice would give out 30 minutes, be like, I gotta end, guys. See ya.
Yeah, I couldn't do what you did. Right. I remember my streak was maybe like 150, 200 days around there, roughly. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I need a break. I need to go do things because it was around the holidays anyway. So I had to go see, family and all that. Uh, how was it hard to, make that executive decision to, you know, um, like not see your family, not just do outside things on special occasions like holidays and stuff like that. Like how tough was it to make that executive
Um,
decision?
it's been overall a very difficult thing. I don't regret doing it per se, but I haven't done a Thanksgiving in 7 years. I haven't hung out for a full Christmas in 7 years. I haven't like personally been with friends and like out with friends in like 2 years now. Well, we have, but like it's not been much.
Hmm.
Like I've sacrificed basically everything in my personal life, at least for a while, to try and support and make this work. And I don't have regrets about it, and I don't think it was really a hard decision because I'm passionate about it. But like when you sit there and like you reflect some days, you're like, wow, I really skipped out like on all these like big things. I skipped out on all these shows I could have gone to, these trips I could have took. Just even just like hanging out with the friends and like eating pizza and playing Monopoly. Like I skipped out on that, you know.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't really regret doing it. And if I had to do it again, I would do it again. And I think now I have a much healthier approach. If I were to do it again, which mind you, I'm not doing it again. But in the event that I were to do it again, which again is not happening, I think I would have a much healthier approach to how I'd handle it.
that's it comes
But
with time and change and growth. Yeah, but do you regret it like the entirety of it all?
no, because doing it is what allowed me to get partner on Twitch, allowed me to get found. It allowed me to make the team, which has the podcast that we're recording right now. It helped introduce me to my partner. It helped me find all my different hobbies that I currently do. It's helped me achieve like mostly financial independence, not fully independent yet. You know, like I still live at home, but getting there.
Hmm.
Uh, it's afforded me every opportunity. Is also lining me up with so many different things for the future. Like people think streaming like, but there are so many different things that streaming can branch off into, whether it's like community management jobs for like video game development or working. One of my buds now works for a charity, because like he did a really good stream for them and they brought him on. Now he's like a full-time like member for them. And there are so many different avenues that like what I'm doing right now can branch off into that isn't necessarily streaming, that can allow me like a nice full-time living down the road.
I see.
So
I get you. I get you. Well, I mean, again, what you've done the last like 5 years, what personal with the team and everything is. I applaud you for that because again, it takes a really strong mind and personality to really grasp everything and just push forward like you have. So
yep.
definitely applaud you for that. Yeah, I mean, I guess I got nothing else to ask you. I mean, you have anything else you wanna ask me, or any last words or anything like that?
Last words. I think for people watching, I think they're going to be pretty excited and pretty happy with the whole Mellow Fellow team kind of coming up. I'm more invested in this team than I think I have been since like we first made it, since we've like started like adding people like on the roster to like do designated tasks and whatnot. And I think the things I'm cooking up in my mind and the things other people are cooking up right now is going to be fantastic. And I think those on the team and those that just kind of watch us, because we have a lot of people that just watch the team now. There's some fun stuff coming up, and I'm very excited to share with everybody. And I'm very proud of everything this team has become. And it's, while there's been like some rocky moments in it, I'm very happy that I made the decision to create this team. And I'm very happy that we're now sitting here at year 5 and it doesn't look like we're slowing down whatsoever.
Well, yeah. Again, I appreciate you hanging out
Yep.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you. It's one of my best friends here on Switch and on the team and everything else. So appreciate you. Where can we find you? Like, just give me all your socials, just like you do at the end of your stream. Just give it to me.
Yeah. So you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/AlexIsPlaying. You can find me on Kick for retro content, kick.com/AlexIsPlaying. YouTube for daily videos, 7 days a week, brand new video, and occasional streams there. YouTube.com/AlexIsPlaying. Or you can find me on Twitter, X, Muscap. Account name there is AlexIsUpdating.
Lovely. Definitely selling out here. And I heard you like money.
I freaking love money, dude. I had a $206 grocery bill the other day. Please.
More money.
Please pay that up. Please. I was like, I have 3 weeks worth of food. I'm only in week 2, and I'm like, wow, where's it all going?
Down your throat, out the back, I assume.
Yeah, and that hole in my wallet's really not getting better.
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
it do be like that sometimes, but make sure to help Alex pay for his bills and his games. Yeah, mainly the bills.
If you're like a rich oil prince, please just give me like 0.1% of like your income right now. I'll be set for life. I'll keep streaming for you. Don't worry.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's AlexIsPlaying again. The boss man, the penguin, the leader of the Mellow Fellows. Again, thank you, Alex, for hanging out. Yeah, this is it. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your time, and hopefully you get to listen to more podcasts that we have upcoming. So yeah, stick around.
This guy's finally recording again. About time he interviewed me. I've been waiting for like 3 years. God.
I'm retiring tomorrow. Thanks.
No, you're not. Contract ironclad.
I need money first.
And the recording, I have some stern words for you right now, and we can't have the team listening to the amount of stuff I'm about to throw your way.
Okay, I love you. Bye, everyone. Okay.